Walking from here to my bedroom and feel like it's miles away. There's too many roads. And I'm still hard body, I don't feel no body. And I'm wheels, I'm riding on my friendships. Solid, I get big deposits on my whips, exotic. Revving the engine, city dependent. I gotta finish it, I want opinions, she wanted things, She want a ring or some sort of arrangement, Something that's dangerous, I wanna change it, I wanna claim it, I want it painted, She quick to say no cause she know she a diamond, She getting quiet, She on the diet, she want a massage, Tryna get intimate, Bank account never diminishing, Niggas are changing their images, Niggas act hard but they innocent, Hop in the tank and move militant, yeah. Find me somewhere out in London, you know that's the hideaway. I need some head and some more support from you right away. Since I've been making donations to you like United Way, you know I do. Stories you told me about him, I can see that it's night and day. You told me the truth. Walking from here to my bedroom and feel like it's miles away. There's too many roads. And I'm still hard body, I don't feel nobody. And I'm wheels, I'm riding on my friendships. Solid, I get big deposits on my whips, exotic. Trunk on the engine, I'm on a mission. The Bronco 250, I'm out your division. I got them excited, know it's been a little minute. I left her delighted, made her love off a chrome horn. These suckers despite it, the touch is the Midas. She say fuck me and calm, I just do it like Lover but Nike. Ordered a ginger for you and your friends. Trophy you running that big body Benz. Got a little bit that came up from nothing. We shopping in London, they doing it big. Man, they private, but we out in public. I know we the topic for you and your kids. Life Monopoly gon' bro, not an option. If they could've stopped it, they would've been dead. They would've been dead. She could be the wig. Don't play with my hands, you test my emotions. Don't be testing my phone every day, I'ma leave it on red. Don't digging and stroking. My new bitch pussy wet like an ocean, I need a new spread. The solid one chosen. I'm gon' wanna stay focused, I can't let them put me on edge.
Put me on edge. I just bust out my wrist and this rose gold and it's an edge. I just put pointers on feds. I just counted to me and all cash and got hit from the feds. Yeah, I just told them if we played, then we stop in the growth for they dreads. I just had to put the pyramid push that I'm never gonna drive them to shit. Build a panoramic goals. We got foes and deuces toast on the beat dog.
Today, we're going to talk about the loaded college basketball slates, MLB SZN Squares, and we got to cash a squad ride. This is Behind the Lines. I really want to fade Tiger today. I hate saying that. It doesn't feel right. I mean, who else has the sack to do it?
How are we not pairing this with Judge? Fading the GOAT, I feel like a Judge pairing is required.
You know, Jovan, I could be convinced, and I think I am.
The Sooners to take care of business by 4+ runs tonight. I think the offense for Oklahoma really picks it up when we have Kyson Witherspoon on the mound. I will take my chances that the offense is going to do enough to get this into a pretty ugly game.
There's not enough glue guys to go around, Jovan. They got no glue guys in that locker room in Philly. Zero. They got the opposite. They got the most toxic team of all time. They don't give a hoot. Let's leave them in the Big 2-4.
Have to.
At least for now.
Crabs,
I would have taken Peebles if he was up there.
I'm gonna mute.
Dude, there's no way we're talking about sped up videos.
Dude, he was cooking. He was absolutely cooking. What's going on, chat? Happy BTL Thursday, episode 652 piece. As always, hold the fry, joined by your two hosts, Krabs and Jovan, presented by Bookit Sports. If you haven't started tracking your bets yet on Bookit, start today. All right, great looking college basketball slate today. Start tracking your bets over there on Bookit Sports. I promise once you do, you're going to keep using that puppy, the best bet tracking app out there by far on the App Store or Google Play. Jovan, how we doing? Happy Thursday.
How we doing, Krabs?
Doing well. We got a Nats game starting up here in about 20 minutes.
Yeah,
that's good.
You're pretty excited about it.
I am. We're going to talk about it. And we'll talk about some of these early college basketball starts as well. Don't you worry, guys. I know we got games tipping off here in about 20 minutes. We'll get to it before this game start. Right now, I'm looking at SIU. I'm seeing if they come back around and end up closing a favorite. They're trying. They are certainly trying. If they do, I will be inclined to get on SIU, who just lost to the same team 4 days ago. Okay? I'm hoping they end up closing a favorite. They were last night. This morning, they were dogs. But now it's kind of a pick 'em. All right, we'll see what happens. We got plenty of plays today in college basketball, Jovan, and we'll take a peep at the NBA and the ice as well. Okay, we're even going to talk about some MLB SZN Squares.
Sure.
I'm still debating. Okay. Lot to go over today. All right. Why don't we start with the recaps and get this over with? The squad racked from last night.
Yep, hand up. Bad wager, bad read. They were the Warriors, a lot of open cuts, just not the game for defense. Shit wager.
You could have scored more.
They honestly could have. They had a
Yeah.
stretch. They had a stretch like coming out of the half where there was some life because they were
Yeah.
I don't know, they were actually defending for once, but the first half, the second they came out, then they were just not missing, banking in and 1-3s. There was no hope.
Yep. Every shot was wide open and every shot went in for the most part. That sucked. And somehow it did actually have some life in the second half. I'll give you that.
Yeah,
it was like the meme of the guy with the controller and he sits up in his chair. That was me in the second half, but to no avail. Okay, Ziegler, Padula. Thought that was going to be an under, but what a game.
Ziegler.
What a game.
Ziegler shit his pants.
Yep.
That was hilarious.
He did. All right, chat. Let me know if you guys like anything in this first college basketball game starting up at about 15. All right, we're going to talk about it here in a moment. Let's finish the recaps. Take a peep at how we did yesterday on the Sharp Report. See how we did overall. Jovan, bounce back day, looming. Shout out, Denny.
Good.
Over on the ice. How many goals they end up with on the ice there?
5.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
Washington for me was cake, although they showed some heart late, but that was a no shit play. Great Asabar though.
Rest of the plays from you were pretty air. I know the Ole Miss game was close, but really thought they had that game or had that covered kind of set the way that game was going. Oklahoma was free. Fears was free. Asabar was ma.
Shout out Rizzy Fears. Sure. Coming through. Great game for him. Shout out Primers Sooners. W Geek Goot in the chat as well. We're locked in this morning, Geek Goot. Hope you are as well. Stay dialed in the chat. Okay. W's. All right. Pretty good day yesterday. Let's run that back. All right. We got a lot to go over today. Why don't we go ahead and hop right into it? We're gonna talk about the Sharp Report plays here, guys. Why don't we go ahead and hop right in? But before we do, and go over those graphics, can we settle on this SIU Indiana State game real quick? Can we come to a consensus? We're about 15 minutes out. I want to check where the lines are at. I really want to get involved with SIU, man.
I was going to say, I felt like there was no way, regardless of what the line is doing up until now, that you were not going to get involved.
Well, I kind of told myself if SIU, closes a dog, I was going to stay off. But the more that they catch some steam here as we get closer to game time, the more I want to get involved, right? And the fact that they open up a favorite is certainly weird, considering they played 4 days ago, right? And they got destroyed. That game wasn't even close. And I want to go ahead and get that on record as well. W. Carson in the chat. I did lock in a future. I tailed Goots. All right, Goots said JT's winning. He's due. If Goots says that, I'm in. Okay, so I'm backing Justin Thomas, who's not won a tournament in like 3 years.
Yeah, I got a feeling.
Time to do something.
I have a feeling.
Okay? I'm in. Can we sweat the Nats nerfy when it comes on? Yeah, we can, yay, lads. We certainly can. I locked that in on TMA already, and I'd be happy to send a second lineup. No qualms whatsoever. Sending a second lineup with that nerfy as well. So if you got a square you like on the Diamond Jovan, let me know. But we always got that Aaron Judge square back pocket.
It's always back pocket, Krabs. It's always back pocket.
Okay. You all not like the under in the first game? No. Although the total has dropped like 5 points. So I certainly don't like the over. I'd rather, if I had to take a total in one of these early games, I'd take the over in San Diego and Pacific probably. If I had to take some sort of total in one of these 3 early games, it'd be that one. That total's up 3 points as well. Those guys played twice this year, San Diego and Pacific. Both games went under. Each time they played, the totals went up though. And we've seen 2 unders already. Kind of weird to me. Prize Picks board making it seem like Pacific's going to have an absolute day today. So I do think they carry the weight, and they are up to -2.5 as well. So if you want to play in that game, it could be Pacific and that over.
Breaking news, Krabs. Commanders re-signed Zane Gonzalez.
Okay.
Lord.
All right. He probably deserved it. Close out the season well. had a weird year of kickers on our squads, to be honest with you. We had Siebert, who was unconscious, right, early on. He had 7 field goals in one game. People forget that. And then he got hurt. And then he tried to play through an injury and fucked us over. So, yeah, I guess we are going to re-sign Zane. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Sure. W. Goots. Goots bomb. Unbelievable. All right.
Bomb.
Guys, I do want to get involved on SIU, but I need to see them close as a fave. I'm trying to be very patient, quality over quantity, and only putting out winners, just like yesterday. Okay? So why don't I take a peep at that line? I'll monitor it for the next 15. I'll let you guys know if we lock it in. I do like that over in San Diego and Pacific this afternoon as well. Jovan, you have any thoughts on that game or the Missouri State-Illinois State game?
I think I'm a little scarred from, I think it was Pacific. I'm trying to look back to exactly when this was, but was it the first game of the WCC tournament last year where they put up the ridiculous stinker? Looking to see if it was. I so feel like that was them. Yes. They lost to Pepperdine 43-102.
Bro.
That was like the worst performance I've ever seen from a team in basketball history. That was their first game of the tournament last year. So I might be scarred from that, Krabs. Not going to lie to you.
I don't love that. Yeah, chat remembers. Trice Picks, King Dre talking about it. They lost by 75. Okay. Is this a tourney game? Yep, all 3 of these early CBB games, guys. Actually, all 4 of the first games today that all start before 7 p.m. I think the latest one is 6 p.m. that I'm talking about here. All 4 of these puppies are tourney games. Okay, so lock in. We've also been posting graphics on the BTL account for futures that we like in these mid-major conferences, right, Jovan? We have favorites, right, wagons, and sleeper picks that we like in all these mid-majors. So once these conferences start up, guys, we're posting the graphics on BTLX. Sure. W's. I don't think I've had any teams eliminated yet from those graphics. It's been close. I checked it last night. I think we're still in business.
You almost did, I think. Because Northern Kentucky almost lost that game. I think they were on yours, right?
Yes. They played today again. We'll see if they can pull off an upset. I think they're like plus 4.5. We got Big Cheesy coming in, resubbing. 5 subbies coming in from Big Cheesy. Let's go, my man. Sure we can. Big Cheesy, you're him. Feeling good, huh? Last couple of days, dropping some subbies. We appreciate you, Beast. Red Sox 6, Mike Lowry, Drippy Dubs, I Hate Sweating, Thug Waffle. You guys all got blessed up with a subby, and you can thank Big Cheesy for being a goat. Okay? All right, Jovan, before we move and start diving into some of our favorite plays for today, I want to ask you one more time. Do you like any of these plays in these early games? Are you going to get to the counter in these first 4 games today in any of these puppies?
No, I got nothing. All right. If you lock something in now, I will tell.
Okay. All right. I guess that last game we didn't really talk about. That's kind of early is Georgia Southern, Georgia State. Talked about it a little bit on TMA. Mikey likes Georgia Southern. They've been a wagon. I told him, I said, yeah, I'm not going to tell you to hop off or go on the other side. I got no counter. Georgia Southern's look great. They're the 9th seed against the 8th seed today, and they're a favorite against Georgia State. Georgia State's the team that I have one heck of a time betting on and against, to be honest with you. So I typically stay off, but and they are kind of sharp a lot of times. They don't really come through. So these teams did play twice this year. They split. So not like an angle where, one team swept during the regular season. You can fade them in this game. Nope. They split during the regular season. I kind of like Georgia Southern, the 9th seed, on fire right now. They played yesterday. A lot of people bitch about tired legs. I don't really care. Day 2, right? Day 4, maybe. I start to worry about that. Are we going to get 4 consecutive great games and 40 minutes of energy on day 4? Probably not. But day 2, I don't give a hoot. These kids are still riding the high of that great game against Southern Miss. So I would lean Georgia Southern there in that other game. Okay.
I probably would too. I'm a little more weary, I guess, of teams that I think are going to be a little shooting dependent, especially in that court in this matchup. But I would lean their way too. Not enough to take it though.
All right. Can we clap it up real quick for my guy Slim Smith? He just came in and subbed up our guy Geek Goot. Okay, W Geek Goot, W Slim Smith. Cannot make it up. Geek Goot back for more today. W's. Okay. Happy birthday, Cheesy. Is it actually his birthday? Or are we just playing around? Cheesy, if it's your birthday, bro, yeah, it is. Spoon
Yeah, it
feed me
is.
on my
There you
birthday,
go.
fellas. Let's go, Big Cheesy. Atta baby.
Cheesy.
Happy birthday, bro. Happy birthday. We might have to get involved on this SIU game for the big birthday.
You double back
All right.
in 2 seconds.
I can't stop thinking about this game, to be honest with you.
Krabs, just take SIU. I know you want to, and I know you're going
Dude,
to.
They just
Rip the
played.
Band-Aid off.
They just played 4 days ago. Oh my gosh, Prime is on Indiana State. Prime. What are we doing? They just played 4 days ago, folks.
Krabs, there's just not a way you're not punching it in. So just stop messing around, stop beating around the bush, and just do it. We know you're going to do it.
Do you think chat? Tyler likes it in chat. Richie likes it in chat. Devil's Rock Chalk likes it in chat. They want to get involved. Itchy.
Literally
Already
itchy.
locked. Okay. All right. Well, let me get to the Sharp Report. So we have some time at the end to talk about some MLB season squares. We got a hype train moving to Groove and W chat. We appreciate all you guys on a Thursday getting up in here, getting involved, dropping subbies, dropping chats. We appreciate all you guys. W hype train. Okay. I'm getting involved on SIU. All right. They're back to a pick 'em. I'm going to take them on the ML. All right. That game starts up in 8 minutes. Want to get perfectly clear here as well. We cannot forget about the Nerfy that starts up in 8 minutes as well. You got Eric Fetty revenge game against our new ace, Michael Soroka, who is still perfect this spring, still trying to earn his spot in the starting rotation. Jovan, he's looked great so far. Can we squeeze one more great outing out of him or just one more good inning? I think we can. Let's take that Nerfy.
Mike Soroka and new ace Krabs.
Yeah,
we got.
He looks like it right now.
We got to be better than that.
He looks like it. He looks like it. All right. Ooh, I can still get plus chicken.
Let me lock in and tail SIU, man.
On the green book. Okay. Locking in, chat. SIU. Taking the ML.
I'm in there.
Plus 102. Sure. That'll play. That'll pay. Free Earthy from Reeve Trees. Okay. There it goes. See ya. Yep. Just wait for it. Who's doing it today, huh? Maybe it's Nolan Arenado coming through.
That would be such a Nolan Arenado. Such a Nolan Arenado Earthy tank. Wow, you got Nate Lau hitting the 3 spot.
Bro, I don't know if you saw the MLB The Show rankings for the Nats, but he's our highest rated player. Nate Lau. Yep.
Well, A, no, I definitely did not see that. But B, that is very sad, Krabs.
Yep.
What are we doing?
Look, man, I don't make the rankings. I'll tell you what, there won't be a team in that game this year that has more of a ratings improvement from their overall squad from start to finish than the Washington Nationals. What do you think about that take?
I think that's
let that one stay.
Probably should take Krabs. Probably a really bad take.
Who else is going to have more improvement from a young squad from beginning to end of season right now? Pirates? Come on.
I mean, their lineup sucks. I would
Come
say
on.
A's, Reds.
Reds, okay. Reds, sure.
Yeah.
A's, maybe. Yeah, just like from where the ratings are in MLB The Show preseason, right? So obviously young teams that aren't respected yet, and these guys all have low ratings. And then at the end of the season, they're going to have way better ratings. I bet you the Nats have the best improvement for any squad in that game. Coastal KC resub.
I'd give the edge to the A's there.
Yeah, I would think so.
Coastal KC still trying to track down Trent. Sure. Coastal, do me a favor. Can you DM me right now on X?
What's Trent up and moving or not up and moving down, man?
Yeah, Coastal, DM me real quick. All right, I got my DMs open. DM me right now on X. We got Chigs69 coming in as well, dropping a resub. Let's go, my man. Atta boy. Let's go,
Krabs,
boys. Squad ride bounce back. Sure.
We got your guy in Minnesota leading off against Garrett Cole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, they don't have a nerfy square for that one.
Soft. I mean, it's Joe Ryan, Garrett Cole.
Joe Ryan.
That would probably be why.
Joe Ryan, you say?
Yeah. Here he might make an appearance somewhere a little later in the stream.
Coastal, I got you. Coastal, I got you in the chat. I'm going to follow up with you after the stream. I just replied that. Okay. W Hype Train, boys. We appreciate you guys. What's up, Scholastic? How we doing, Beast? Jovan, you're telling me Matt Wallner's hitting leadoff?
That he is.
Trying to get him some at-bats?
Yeah, trying to get him up and moving against Garrett.
Okay. Hey, we'll see if Matt Wallner can come through. I know he had a tough outing the other day, but maybe he bounces back. Maybe Matt Wallner shows up today.
Would be something.
Okay. W. Dave Martinez burner. Krabs, thanks again for the giveaway. My girlfriend used that money and bet on Kent State, and now it's gone. Okay. Jesus.
That's my favorite chat of all time.
All right. Also, I was checking my DMs and I saw Riley Brass hit me up and said, can I interest you in a Kent State foam finger? I don't know if you guys can see that, but a Kent State foam finger. I don't know why he's there, but he's there. Or a shirt. Riley Brass, I appreciate you, brother. He is, yeah.
He's involved.
Riley, I will respectfully decline the offer, but I appreciate you, my man.
I think you need that. I think you need that badly, Krabs.
Thanks for looking out. All right, the SIU bet has been placed. And Jovan, there's only one mid-major team that I need some fucking drippage for. And I might need it today. We might need it today. It's the Mount.
Wow. W-Trent.
Big day for the Mount. Let's get to the Sharp Report. All right, let's talk about the Mount St. Mary's Mountaineers, who are getting heavily disrespected today, Jovan, by the odds makers. This is a big fuck you to the Mount, and I'm not going to stand for it. I'm not going to sit up here and not make coins off of this. This is bullshit. They're playing a Quinnipiac team, Jovan, that is severely overrated, in my opinion, in this conference. They're a good squad, don't get me wrong, but they have not covered 4 straight. They're coming off a loss to Merrimack when they were favorites. So they've actually been favorites in their last 4 games against the spread, and they have not come through. This team was a wagon early on, but of late, they've kind of looked like a shell of themselves. Well, Jovan, unfortunately for Quinnipiac, their opponent tonight, their season arc has been much of the opposite. The Mount had some early season struggles, some early season woes. You got a new coach, right? You got a bunch of new players trying to figure out your new team, right? In a relatively new conference. Let's not forget the Mount ran the neck for decades, right? They're relatively new in the MAC. They're still trying to feel their way in this conference, right? But Jovan, the Mount, I mean, all jokes aside, they've been very impressive overall this season, and especially of late. They're closing the season very well. This new coach, Coach Lind, he's up for Rookie Coach of the Year. I know it's a list of like 25 coaches, and the Drake guy is 100% going to win. But either way, good to hear Coach getting some respect, and he deserves it. He has changed this Mount basketball team for the better. They are no longer a snooze fest of a squad that just relies on their defense. They play up-tempo, and they play aggressive defense and press now as well. So this Mount team, it's night and day from recent seasons, Jovan, and the way they're playing right now, it's night and day compared to Quinnipiac, who might have a better records. They might have beaten the Mount by like 25 when they played earlier this season, but that does not matter. Actually, it was like 35 points, 91-57 in that game. Jovan, that's probably why we're seeing the spread at 8.5 for Quinnipiac at home. Okay, and I'm totally okay with backing the Mount here, grabbing the points, knowing that this game is going to go down to the fucking wire, just like every Mount game has the last 3 months until they pulled away and destroyed some of these worst teams. But overall, the Mount in these dogfight games has come through. The only team in the MAC with 2 bigs, they got out-rebounded in that first game, the first matchup against Quinnipiac. Well, that's because one of their big men was in foul trouble in that game, Cordilla. So if Cordilla wasn't in foul trouble in that game, the Mount does not get embarrassed and they don't get out-rebounded. I think tonight's matchup will be much different. The Mount is much more prepared, and they show up against Quinnipiac tonight with a much different game plan, more mojo, and at least a cover, but maybe even an outright win.
Yeah, gonna need to. Mount just feels right starting up March, or it's the season of March with some Mount action.
It does. Yep. Sorry, I'm reading some of these chats. Soon Krabs going to be boosting those admissions numbers. Yeah, they need all the help they can get right now. I'll be honest. Snacks saying, I hope you're right, but they're getting smoked tonight. Snacks, that's not what I need to hear right now. Let's stay positive with the Mount. Got a weird feeling about the Mount tonight. Okay? I don't care if it doesn't look sharp. It's a different ball team than recent years. They're showing up. They're getting their lick back against Quinnipiac tonight. Okay? Let's swing it around to your plays, Jovan. Let's see what you're cooking up.
Start with a little bozo season, Krabs.
Okay.
One play, which I was going to take just -4, -4.5, but I didn't get in time. I don't know what the basis of the big line movement is in this game, whether there's some injury or just, I don't know, Sharps are in love with the Bobcats. I don't know. But I'm going back to Texas State. I think they're going to make a little run in this tournament, which it's tough to say they're going to do anything with it necessarily because this tournament, the new format's a step ladder. It's kind of like the WCC, so they would really have to upset some teams. But I think they're going to start and get pretty hot here, and I think they'll be a dog the next game. So I'll probably be betting on them there too. But Texas State, they get to face a team in Old Dominion that they actually lost to by double digits earlier in the season, their only matchup, and now they're up to -7, which is crazy. But I think they're winning the game. The big difference, they caught them earlier in the beginning of February in a stretch where Texas State was playing just horrid basketball. This was, I think, directly in the middle of a stretch where they lost 5 in a row. They were just playing terribly. They're super soft. They didn't have their lineup. It was not fully healthy for 3 weeks straight. Now they've been playing really good basketball down the stretch, which is kind of why I want to lean into them somewhat in this tournament. But Colton Benson's back and healthy. Their best shooter. Their bigs have been playing much better, more physical, and that's big because the big, advantage that a lot of teams in the Sun Belt have against Texas State is their physicality, and that really hurt them the first time they played Old Dominion. So I think this is where they get their get back and start the little tournament run. So I think they win the game. And the Lightning, I love me arrested Vassy, especially when you're going against a Sabres team that was playing really good hockey for a while. Now they're starting to bleed out again, and they're in a really tough stretch scheduling wise themselves, where now they're starting their Florida 2-piece road trip. So I don't think it's going to start out very good for them. So I'm taking the Bolts too, minus just about 110.
Love the Texas State angle. I'd be shocked if there's not an injury situation going on there. But if there's not,
it's fat, dude.
If there's not, then they're going to win that game by 50. But I would not be shocked if there's some sort of ODU injury that we don't know about yet. Looking at that spread, it's not like ODU's been playing terribly of late. They've actually ended the season pretty good. And their coach has done a pretty good job trying to turn around that Monarchs program. He's got some more work to do for sure, Mike Jones. But I see what he's got going on down there at ODU, and he's doing good things. So this spread is ridiculous. Texas State, a team that's been banged up all season as well. I kind of liked them early on. They had some serious injuries they had to deal with, but they're relatively healthy right now, and they close the season out pretty strong. Winners of 3 of their last 4. So, yeah, I like this play, Jovan. Taking them on the ML and pairing them with your Lightning. Sure. I got bad news.
What's the bad news, Krabs?
Oh, I got bad news, folks. Chain's coming off. Chain's coming off.
What do you mean chain's coming off?
Chain's coming off. I got bad news. Terrell R. Jr. had successful surgery today to repair a ruptured Achilles tendon. He will miss the remainder of the season.
Dude. There's no way. Moose.
Not only is that just a massive loss. Snacks, I didn't know it was that serious, brother.
Yeah, he didn't say that. We were talking about the game the first time.
No, that's on me, though, still. But I didn't know that it was a season-ending injury.
Yeah.
To be honest, I thought he was going to be back tonight. Jesus Christ. I mean, not only is that just massive, on the court, but in the locker room as well, Terrell Ard. Just notorious glue guy down there in Emmitsburg, Maryland. Yeah. He is. I mean, who's going to sign autographs for those kids after this game?
I know, dude.
Xavier Lipscomb? No. Kidding me? That actually sucks. And this team played terrible without Terrell Ard the entire season. The only time they struggled all year is when Terrell Ard got hurt earlier this year. And Keys has a concussion. Snacks, I'm not losing sleep over that, but W note. He's been kind of wet from 3 off the bench. Xavier Lipscomb, great kid. Yes, Chaco. That is true. We're going to need him to show up tonight. Look, I still like them out to cover, but that is a dagger, not only just for this bet, but just for the vibes. Prayers up to Terrell Ard, who is, by the way, only like a year younger than me. This is his last season in college basketball. He's been playing for fucking over half a decade. He's not going to get another year of eligibility. His career's done. That's sad as shit. Terrell Ard, man, I appreciate you. Gave us a great run this year. Let's go out there and win one for him. For Terrell.
Should make a tribute video, Krabs.
Fuck, man. Terrell Ard. We needed him. Glue guy. We needed him, glue guy, not only for tonight, but that really sucks for the conference tournament.
Yeah, that does.
Now, actual basketball knowledge and depth-wise, we do have 2 other bigs who start, and we have plenty of depth in that, down low. But that's just bad for the locker room. Prayers up for Terrell Ard. All right, let's keep moving and grooving. Jovan, W moneyline parlay there. The Mount. It's not going to be easy tonight. Let's go out there and win one for our guy. Gotcha. UMKC. Jovan, I don't know if you were tapped into TMA earlier, but I brought this one up towards the end. UMKC. Coming back to Old Reliable, a team we used to bet on a little bit more when they got the call up to D1 like 2 years ago, I feel like. Since then, have not bet on them as much, but I'm a sucker for betting on the Roos in a sharp spot, Jovan. And tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern, no different, right? I'm looking at this line open up at +1.5 in a neutral site tournament game. First round here, 8 seed UMKC against the number 1 seed Omaha squad here, Jovan, who I'm sure you're hip, but I'll get Chad informed as well. This Omaha team, I have been waiting for this since I have memories of college basketball. This Omaha team, every year they get hype. They get a new coach every half a decade. He brings in his whole new squads. They're a big analytical team now. They're big into shooting threes and a lot of possessions. They like to run. They don't play a lick of defense, side note. But this Omaha team, I've been waiting for them to break out. They finally did it this year, Jovan. They're the 1 seed in this conference. They had a crazy celebration after they clinched. It was a big deal for them. They have not done this, I don't think, ever in their school's history. So you automatically know I'm fading that team in their first game in the tournament. But also basketball-wise, these are 2 opposite teams. You got UMKC, who's tough, physical, slow. They play defense. They can't shoot to save their life. Well, Jovan, good thing they're playing against a bunch of skinny dudes out there today, a bunch of dudes who don't play a lick of defense. They just run up and down the court and jack threes. So although it didn't show up this season, when they played twice this year, UMKC could not find an edge. They could not put the ball in the hoop, although they looked much better in the second game than the first game. They got swept in the regular season by this really good Omaha squad. Third time around, Jovan, it's going to be a lot tougher when the lights are turned up a little bit brighter for Omaha, when everybody's finally tuned in, everybody's finally watching, all the alumni, all the parents, all the friends, right? Everybody's tapped in to watch your 1-seeded team in their first tournament game. Well, I've seen this movie before. And unfortunately, great story and all, but UMKC is going to dominate in this game. They're going to be more physical. And I want to back a defensive-minded squad in a tournament game when the lights are bright and the offenses struggle. I want my coins on the Roos.
Yeah, and I know this line in the game stinks to begin with, but we were talking about or looking at like the futures for this Summit League tournament too, and the 1 seed Omaha is 4th in the odds, which I thought was a little odd. And I know the power ratings will tell you a bunch of things, and once those games get, I don't know, once they play the St. Thomas's or the North Dakota States, even though like I like North Dakota State before the injury news just dropped for their team, but they play a lot of those teams. They're going to be dogs, but they're 450 plus 450 is the 1 seed stuck out. And I feel like there's always 1 or 2 of those every conference tourney season that you can see that the end is very near. Maybe it's today with the Roos, Krabs, because I'm very down.
I'm thinking it is. And this is one of those cases where I care more about that opening line at 1.5 than where I do right now. Obviously, we're going to wake up and the spread's going to be at 3.5, 4. It's going to be moving because everybody and their mother's betting on Omaha, right? Number 1 seed, great story. They're playing a team they've already beaten twice. This is when we swoop in and fade and back the ruse on, not even on the road, right? Neutral site, both teams are on the road, but you back the ruse third time around.
Sure.
Third time around. Rumor has it the Nerfy is up and moving.
Nerfy is confirmed up and moving.
Is that true? Okay, let me know when he hits a nuke. Let me know. Thanks. Damn, maybe I can pull that up. We could tune into future Nats ace this upcoming season, Michael Soroka. Let's get through the top half of the first now. I think this game might be on TV for me up here. Yeah, sure. I want to apologize as well to Nick and the Cardinals fans. Hopefully Jordan Walker's injury is not too bad. I heard he should be fine. But Cacti Field, right? Shout out Travis Scott. Cacti Field, the park we share down there in Florida with the Astros. I guess he tripped over a sprinkler head in the outfield mid-game the other day and tweaked his ankle or fucked up his knee or something. Hopefully that's nothing. But come on. You can't be tripping on sprinklers in the field of play during the game. What are we doing?
Yeah.
So, yeah, good to hear that he's okay, but it's pretty moose shit.
That's like probably number one rule of a groundskeeper.
Okay.
He's probably fired. We got SIU up and moving.
What are they doing?
They're up 10-3. Indiana State called timeout. Jarrett Ensley, 7 early points. No way.
Did I hear Paul DeYoung is up to the dish here?
Yeah, you got a Nate Lau elite AB walk just for Paul to get up. Did that for you, Krabs. So you get the DeYoung Fetty matchup you've been dreaming about.
Good. Paul DeYoung, Eric Fetty matchup of Sench.
Literally Battle of Berg right here.
Give me a break. And they won't let me watch the fucking Nats game right now in Madison. It's fucking bullshit. They don't want me to succeed, folks. Can we swing it around and take a peep at Jovan's second straight bet? See what he's crafting up. We'll close it out with a couple totals here, Jovan. Sure.
Yeah, starting the MEAC, NC Central and South Carolina State. I'll say it like this because these two teams, there's a lot going on. First of all, neither of them can shoot. They're horrendous three-point shooting teams, but they are some of the best teams in the country at getting to the free throw line. South Carolina State attempts the 5th most in all of the country, and NC Central is not too far behind them at 22nd. So it's very clear when they play matchups like this where they know both teams can't shoot. When you want to play in transition, they play very fast. They try to get to the rim. They try to get to the free throw line. And if you're NC Central, they also play a lot of full court pressure to force those turnovers, which speeds up the other teams, and they try to get points off turnovers themselves. So the first game they played, went over in this number. And if you watched the game, which God, I hope you didn't, but I went back and watched some of it, just a lot of really bad basketball, but it was a lot of fast, just out of control basketball where they got to the free throw line a bunch. There were a lot of turnovers. There was not very much play in the half court, which is kind of exactly what I want. So I just think this is going to be an absolute hectic game where a lot of these teams are going to the rim a lot. You're probably going to need good play from the bigs as well. I kid you not. There's a guy on the court tonight. That's name is Po Boy Krabs.
Okay.
And he's goated. Po Boy King, absolute goat.
Well, that's not his legal name, right?
No, it's his legal name.
Okay.
I'm not kidding. His name is Po Boy. Yeah,
right.
It's not spelled like the sandwich, but you say it the same way. But he's one of the differences for that team. He's actually kind of goated, so he's going to be pretty key in everything tonight. But this is just going to be. I'm hoping this is like the worst basketball version of Bama, Florida last night. Just a lot of hectic play.
All right, you're telling me Po Boy is going to be the difference tonight, huh?
Yeah,
unbelievable.
Actually, he's goated.
Okay.
Po Boy King. Remember the name.
All right. Young Burner season coming in, resubbing. Young Burner season. Sure. Appreciate you resubbing for 1 month. Rookie. All right, let's see how he does in his first month. Love to see it. Appreciate all the subbies, guys, in the chats today. Appreciate you guys getting involved on a Thursday. Okay? Let's absolutely kill it today. Any Matt Wallner sightings / any update on SIU? Still trying to get this Nats game figured out.
Matt Wallner struck out.
Okay, great.
SIU, Indiana State's creeping back.
Okay.
Another timeout.
Okay.
Curtis
All right.
Mead may have just killed Aaron Nola. What happened, Kish? He drew him with a liner.
Oh no, Aaron Nola.
He's back pitching,
Jeez.
so I guess he's alive.
All right, I finally got the Nats game on. Let's fucking go.
Yeah, we got first pitch from Soroka here, Krabs. Need you dialed.
Okay. All right. It's giving me trouble. It's not working. That's okay. We're gonna lock in. Jovan, you want to go over this last play here as well?
Sure. Little Mary Mac Marist action. Back to your neck of the woods.
Sure, the Mac.
Yeah, big fan of Mary Mac. I think they're going to be a team that maybe makes a little something shake in this conference tournament that starts up here soon. But this game specifically, Mary Mac's defense is very matchup dependent. So, like, there are games where they look fantastic and teams are barely getting into the paint with them. They look great, 50 sub points or something like that. But like as of late, they've played some teams that are not great matchups for them. And by that, I mean teams that have size on the inside, which is why they've given up so many points as of late. And their games have been a lot more high scoring than the rest of the games have been in the conference. Marist, as good as they are, they're a team that's of comparable size and a comparable matchup to Merrimack. So they don't really have any strong inside big play that really concerns me, which is why the first game was really a stalemate both ways as well. So I think this is a game where we get back to a game like that and we just have a low, gross, slow under, especially because Merrimack, it's a pretty crucial game in the conference, I guess, for both teams. Both teams are fighting for seeding, but Merrimack is in a pretty crucial spot here that I think could determine their fate as far as matchups go in the season. And I think to do that, you got to go back to your defensive roots. And they're going to fire up the zone, of course. They're going to need it. And what better of a team to do it against than the one team that really can't drill you inside like you have been the last handful of games. So give me a gross under, hoping it's one of these nasty Mac games that ends in the 50s.
Yeah, I like this under. I also like Merrimack. Not going to lie.
Yeah, I wanted to take them. The line, I guess, appears weird. I think they're the better team. It's just, I don't know.
Yeah, if Merrimack wins this game, they flip-flop with Marist for the 2 seat in the MAC. Okay? Yeah. So this is a big game. Huge it looks like Young Burner season is a massive Mount fan. Sure. Who would have thought? Cannot make it up. W Young Burner season. Appreciate the W first time chatter and the Mount love as well. Sure. All right. Sure. I like Merrimack. They lost by 1, I believe, earlier this season to Marist. And like I said, if they win this game, they flip-flop with Marist. And I just think that Merrimack squad is overall better. So if you believe in destiny, you believe in backing a better squad to finish up higher in the season-long standings, it's a big game tonight. They got to come through here on the roads. And they are favorites now on the road. So kind of weird. Yeah. Certainly like them. Okay. Let's flip it back around here, Goots. I'll finish up my straight bets here with the beloved Queens. Plus 9.5. I don't know if you've tapped in any Queens basketball of late, Jovan, but they're playing pretty good. They're playing some good ball right now. Been pretty impressed by Queens. They're coming off a big-time win, I believe, a couple days ago against FGCU. We'll see if they can replicate and pull off another upset here, potentially against the 1-seeded Lipscomb squads, who probably ends up winning this game, although it wouldn't be the most shocking thing ever to see Queens pull off an upset. They have beaten this team once already this season when they played at Lipscomb. Pretty crazy. They played the first time. Queens actually shocked the world. They were plus 13.5 in that game. They won outright. Now game number 2 at Queens. Lipscomb bounced back. They won that game by 13. But we know that Queens can at least hang around and hang with this Lipscomb team, even if they're ranked 1 in the conference. I want to fade Lipscomb here, Jovan, and I want to back Queens to stay hot and get a big-time road cover, maybe even a road win down from 10.5 to 9.5. I like the way they're moving and grooving, like the way they're playing. They looked great the other night against FGCU. They've actually covered their last 3 games in a row, and I think that continues against the formidable Lipscomb team that they've already played and beaten once this season.
Yeah, once I saw this game up there, I was looking at it for you. I cannot understand, which this is probably good for Queens, but that total is low. Is it not, Krabs? I'm looking at the first matchup. I mean, 148 was 148 total. They almost gave up 100 points. Lipscomb scored 94, and the total is 2 points lower, which I thought was a little odd. I know we can expect somewhat lower totals, even in rematches when it has to do with the neutral court on conference tournaments. But this isn't conference tournament on neutral court, is it not? So then the ASUN do.
Yeah.
ASUN is sites.
It's in Nashville. It's in Nashville.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So my point.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think it's Queens. Yeah, I think that I would not have been shocked to see the spread even bigger with Lipscomb having that advantage there. So, yeah, I like the points here with Queens. I would not be shocked if they pull off another W here and shock the fucking world. Although Lipscomb, to be fair, Lipscomb was minus money to win the conference tourney before the tourney started. So typically when I see that in these mid-majors, certainly eye-opening a little bit, put some respect on their name. But I do think this game will be weirdly close. We got a Nerfy bang, please. Wow. Let's fucking go. Yes.
Free Nerfy here from Krabs.
Shout out Eric Fetty and shout out future Nats ace Michael Soroka. If you don't know the name, you will. Dude's been nails so far this spring. Ballin'. Let's fucking go, dude.
Let's go, Krabs.
Sure. W. Brian C. Thanks for tailing, brother. W's. All right. Let's keep moving and grooving. I want to get through the prize pick squares here, Jovan, because I still want to ask about some MLB squares, but we got to get through these first. All right. Brought up Yaxel a little bit on TMA, but let's go back and dive into this one a little bit. Yaxel, one of my favorite players in college basketball, Jovan. Yaxel Lendenborg. If anybody in chat doesn't know, this kid is a future NBA talent, not like Toby Lawal. This kid is actually 100% an NBA talent. He might even be end of first round, but not if he has another game like he did against Memphis the other night. He drops a couple more duds like that, his stock is going to keep falling. Jovan, he's coming off a dog shit game. I'll say it. 10 points.
He got in foul trouble too. And that was like his Super Bowl because he has beef with Dane Danger and he did nothing.
Yep. Yeah. So in the biggest game of his career, when all eyes were on UAB in that game, Jovan, the Blazers against Memphis, all the Sharps were on UAB +1 or whatever they were. I was on them too, got burned. He was in foul trouble. When he even could play in the second half, he had to play with his fucking hands up so he couldn't foul, just so he could stay out there on the field or on the court. He played terribly when he did, and he got in foul trouble. To be honest with you, Jovan, he had 2 bad games in a row. He had a bad game against Wichita as well, where he was kind of in foul trouble and only put up 11 points. So back-to-back bad games. In his Super Bowl against his dude he's got beef with on Memphis, he did not play well in that last game. So we get to back him tonight. If you guys haven't seen his fantasy score, his PRA, and how high it is, maybe you could take a look at that chart, and that might make you want to take him a little bit more tonight. But I also watched his PRA get bumped up right in front of my eyes from 32.5 to 33 not too long ago, right before BTL. So I want to back Yaxel in a bounce-back spot against a moose shit defense in FAU, a team that I just have zero respect for this season, a team that has cost me some serious coins. I want to back UAB and Yaxel more than PRA. The fantasy score, good luck as well. This guy's about to tweak tonight after 2 atrocious games. He's showing up for the Blazers.
Sure. Can always get down for some Yaxel, man.
Sure. Dilly Dagger's coming in hot. Fade Shaq's son again. Okay. Yeah, I saw Shaq's son is like top 5 in college basketball in most technicals this season.
That's insane.
It's like, damn, must be the only way he can get any attention on him because he's not good at basketball.
No.
That's why he plays at Florida A&M.
He's definitely not. Tallahassee. It's like right across the street from Florida State.
Krabs, Whip Snakes are leaders in the race to get Rob Pennell. I've heard, Ron. I wouldn't be shocked if he goes there and doesn't come back to the Redwoods, who obviously I got a soft spot in my heart for, but I like both those teams. Curious to see where he ends up, Ron. Yep. All right. Jovan, I went over Yaxel. I want to go over Elijah Fisher here real quick. I know Elijah Fisher has cost us some coins this season. I'm not going to sit up here and act like he has respected our coins. He has not. Okay, I want to go ahead and get that out of the way. He has not respected our coins. I know. But in a game today that I love the over in, I still might get to the counter, by the way, in this over. I'm not going to let it get swept. If SIU doesn't come through, I'm getting my coins back on this over in San Diego and Pacific, Jovan, because I still can't get over it. These two teams have already played twice this season. Both games went under, and the totals have just progressively gone up in all 3 games. Now this third matchup after 2 straight unders is even the highest total out of all 3 matchups. It makes no fucking sense. And the total's up 3 points from when it opened. So we're not getting any defense in this tourney game. I'll tell you that much, Jovan. We're getting a absolute offensive masterclass from probably mainly Pacific. If you look at some of those squares for them up there on Prize Picks, because they're all pretty fucking reds and they all got pretty high points numbers today. But San Diego's probably going to carry their weight too. The spread's at 2.5. So Pacific probably wins. This game goes over, and Elijah Fisher, their best player, who's had some up and downs this season, he's showing up. He eclipsed this in one of these 2 games this season. The second one he struggled in, but the volume was still there for Fisher. Had over 10 shots. That wasn't the issue. He wasn't getting clamped up. He just didn't put the ball in the hoop. Tonight, he does. And tonight, Elijah Fisher respects coins. Take is more than points. There's a reason why it's so high.
I'm in on that. I'll ride with you, and I have a proposition, Krabs. You remember after or what we did with Arkansas, or I don't know if you got involved, but Arkansas, the first half of death that they had against South Carolina over the weekend. Then I took the first half team total over. You remember the score? You probably don't, but the score of Pacific's game that we were talking about last year, first game of the tournament.
Well, they get absolutely blown out.
In the first half, they were down 56-9.
Yeah.
I want to take their first half team total over. That's my way I'm going to back points.
Okay. Makes me feel better too. They got a new coach this year.
Yeah.
Right. So they probably didn't even have a coach at that point. They probably just gave up last year.
I mean, yeah.
He's probably already canned, and they probably had the assistant taken over, and all the players were looking at where they're transferring. Okay. Sure. I mean, either way, Jovan, yeah, it makes me feel better about backing points and backing Pacific after dropping a 9-piece.
Trying to find the line. 34.5 is their first half team total. I'm taking that.
Okay. All right. I hope Pacific comes out and shows up. I think they will. Loving that over. All right. Sure. W. DeGen coming in, dropping some resubs. Let's fucking go, DeGen. Atta baby.
Go.
Good to see you, my man. Hope you're doing well. Let me know if any plays are looking at you funny today. Yaxel sold our secret format.
We did. We had one over the weekend. Or was that the weekend? Yeah, the weekend when he was playing Memphis.
San Diego looking at him funny. Oh, fuck.
I can see why, because San Diego, I don't think they've won a game on the road all year. It's just
I watched them live on the road against Arizona State a couple months ago.
Sure,
obviously. Technically, they're not on the road, but it's away from home, I guess. But DeGen, you should probably look into the Pacific fiasco of last year. That was probably like legit the worst beatdown I've ever seen in college basketball in any sort of postseason play. That was like, it was really like surreal to watch.
Pacific way too easy with definitely in San Diego, Bucks boys saying. Okay. DeGen, can I counter you with that over after both games this year of soared under? Take a peep at that. Let me know what you think. Okay. I got to get this SIU game up and moving. People in chat keep talking about it. They can't stop thinking about it. And Goots, has JT teed off yet? Because people forget we got a golf future this weekend. Okay. Let me know. We got the Salukis up and moving. Oh, good. They're down 4. Jesus Christ. All right. Let's keep moving and grooving. I want to take a peep at Jovan Squares before we get to the MLB season, Geysermans. Take me to the NBA.
Got to take you to the NBA. Start with cat assists, which is a crazy square to be up, Krabs. Get some eyes on that square. Coming off of really a couple bagels, not in a row, but that is just a disgusting square to see on the board. So I immediately looked at it, and it was incredibly odd to see the square up there just as a normal square. But I think it makes a little bit of sense, too, because if I'm the Lakers, and obviously Cat is coming back a little rested for this game, just like I've seen the narrative. Everybody seems to do it against the Lakers. Everybody wants to play against the Lakers. But this team is still a little bit undersized because the obvious Mark Williams trade didn't go through. So when they played big men that are worth a shit, which for the most part, like other than Zubac, they frankly haven't had to face as of recent, minus the 2 Clippers games, they blitz them a lot. And they try to force the ball out of their hands, which has been the big frustration of I think when the trade first happened and they were left without a big man, we were taking the big man a lot, when in reality, this is what was happening. They were just blitzing them a bunch, getting the ball out of their hands, so they really couldn't be that big of a force on the inside. Obviously, Cat is a little different because he's versatile in many different ways, but I think they're going to do their best to take him out of the paint in this game and kind of make him be that perimeter shooter, that perimeter player that he wants to be at times. And with that, I think that's going to open the opportunity for everybody else to, I don't know, cut to the rim off his passes. It seems to be what the Lakers scheme is with JJ, and when they play a lot of bigs like this. So I know the square is just obscene. I kind of want to lean into it somehow, some way. So I want him to get dish him 3.
Were you surprised that square was even up?
Yeah. I mean, that's the only reason I looked at it in the first place. I mean, that square is ridiculous to be on the board.
Yeah.
Especially, I mean, you can look at the last couple games. It's not even like he's had that many potentials either on these games. It's really, really odd. So I think there's something schematically that's going to make a big difference in this game. So I'm taking him there. Then I'm also taking Grand Theft Alvarado's points today.
Sure.
I guess that's my role player of the day. But they get to play the Rockets.
Back Alvarado.
Yeah, he gets to play the Rockets, who, God forbid, I don't even know who's going to end up starting for them in this game now, because they've been supposed to be getting healthy for the last couple of games, and then 15 different guys are out. I think it's going to be the same. It's like the way that the Rockets, I guess, defend is they let the point guards just be super aggressive because they have really good wing defenders, whether it's Dylan Brooks, whether it's Amen Thompson, whether it's even like the stretch guys now with Jabari Smith off the bench. Tari Easton's a great defender. So, like, really a lot of the point guards are point guard points funnel. So, like, for Alvarado coming off the bench, it's not exactly the same because he gets a little different of a matchup than the starters do, per se, but I think it's still the same logic applies. So I guess another square that looks weird because it's incredibly red, but I think he has a chance to be super aggressive in this matchup. And when Jose Alvarado is super aggressive, he thinks he's the greatest player of all time. And he gets in like his Puerto Rico, like Olympics mode where he just thinks he is Michael Pork and he takes every shot, runs every bit in transition, is just, I don't know. He thinks he's LeBron. So I'm hoping we get one of those games when he comes in off the bench. Or runs with the bench unit at the very least. And I think he has a chance to do that. So they get points.
So Lucky's just took a 2-point lead as well. They're showing immense amounts of heart.
Krabs muted potentials.
Tens.
Gage. Good. Can you hear him?
Oh, wow. You guys can hear me, but Jovan can't.
It's me then, GG's. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. It is. Chat. SIU showing a lot of heart right now. Back and forth game. If you don't got eyeballs on this shit, lock in. They're up 2 right now with about 7 minutes left in the first half. So Lukey's are showing heart. Okay, Jovan, I know you can't hear me, but maybe hop out and then hop back in. See if that works.
No, I'm good. I can hear you now.
Let's go. Sure we can. We got some SIU first half bettors as well. Okay. Well, they got a 2-point lead, 7 minutes, and they have the rock, and they're jacking crazy threes, and they're airballing. Okay, I'm going to stop updating you guys on that game because now when I do, they lose. Sure. Come on, Salukis. Fight. Pega. Sure. Krabs per pips. 95% of the money's on the Reds over win total. Reds are the most bet team to go over their win total this season. Was that a John Ewing tweet? Be honest.
Yeah, I saw that earlier.
Pip, was that a John Ewing tweet? We got to remember, some of these tweets go out by people who are employed by the books, and they might want you to see stuff so that you don't lock it in. You got to keep that in mind as well. And maybe that's data that was collected from just the Cincinnati BetMGM that they forgot to leave off, right? And maybe that's just in the state of Cincinnati, Ohio, where everybody's betting on the Reds. I think you got to tread lightly with that.
I always find it funny. A lot of like the future bets, like the X amount of money are on this team's win total over, or like I've seen a couple one of like guys are on Judge home runs or X% are on Judge over home runs. People don't bet unders. That's a useless tweet, useless metric. It's the dumbest thing.
Yeah, it's skewed
possibly
because legitimately 85% of people are logging in and they have not bet an under ever, right? They only bet overs. So it's completely skewed. It's not 50-50. When that's the case, and the books know it. So, yeah, I agree. All right. W Squares. Jovan, I did drop the Sharp Report 4-man link as well in the chat, and I will drop it again for the people if they need it. There it is. Boom. Okay. Get involved, guys. I got a good feeling about today's Sharp Report 4-man. All right. What do you guys want to do? Do you want to go over some MLB SZN Squares that I've been kind of stewing over?
I think the people got to hear because you have some absurd. I don't know what the final is going to be, but you
Yeah.
have some absurd ones in the queue, Krabs, that
Yeah.
I think people need to hear.
Chat might not know, although they could probably guess. You guys know. I love me a good note sheet, right? I love typing up some notes, brainstorming a little bit. Big note sheet guy. And I crafted up a note sheet last night with the guys I know I'm going to put in and some other squares that I was just deep in the lab last night trying to finalize this puppy, trying to get it out for you guys so you can tell. Obviously, Prize Picks, Jovan, you have an edge against me in Prize Picks. You're just better at Prize Picks than me in baseball as well, for sure. But I will pat myself on the back. I am pretty good at baseball on Prize Picks. We had a good season as well last year on the diamond on Prize Picks. Honestly, a great season that does not get talked about enough. So I'm excited to run it back with you this year. And I'm very, very excited for my goat whale that we cannot forget has been very close in recent years. And I've had guys like Patty C cost me some serious coins, 13,000 actually.
Yeah.
To be honest
I
with you.
think even though I've hit like baseball goat whales, I feel like your mentality is definitely an edge goat whale wise because you're not afraid to take nasty unders. I mean, it definitely helped in getting you a little closer to football too. People thought your football or NFL goat whale was disgusting. There are some squares in here that will make you puke potentially.
Yeah. Let's talk about them. And yeah, shout out the NFL goat whale. Lost by one fucking leg.
Hook of Jew.
Shout out Cooper Kupp. I really thought he was going to go to the Commanders after how that played out. I just figured after he cost me also like 25 racks.
Yeah.
It was actually more than the MLB whale. I figured he was going to just automatically just spawn on the Commanders, and I'd have to root for him after that. But no, we got Debo. We're in business. All right, let's dive in here. Enough talking, enough chatting. Let's lock the fuck in. A couple squares that I got asterisks next to here in this note sheet that I'm not sharing with you guys. This is classified info, but I will bring some of these up. Aaron Judge under home runs. It has to go in there every year.
Shocker.
Now,
question: do you ever
Go ahead.
think possibly about the fact that you're going to have about 60 Judge flips by the time the season starts? So, like, that's its own goat whale at this point.
Jovan, do you ever put a couple of dollars aside when you get a paycheck in your savings account? Right? You ever put just a little piece of your paycheck off to the side, save it up for a rainy day, or you save it for the future? That's kind of what I'm doing right now with these Aaron Judge squares. I'm really just putting it off to the side in a savings account because they've already turned green in my mind, right? It's already dropped from 50.5 to 49.5. It's already plus EV. All you math guys out there, it's plus EV. It's actually plus chicken for him to get 50 nukes this season. So, yes, Jovan, I have thought about it. And if I want to turn my baseball brain on here, all jokes aside, a square I like better fading Aaron Judge this year is actually taking his less than hits because he's going to go up there and try to be a superhero and say, oh, no Soto, no problem. It's okay. I'm still here hitting nukes, and every hit he gets is going to be a home run, but he's probably going to go less than his hits. I thought about it briefly, and then I remembered, wait a second here. I have to just put in the home runs because, come on, it's Aaron Judge less than home runs. Let's not ever think this. But I honestly like his less than hits a lot as well.
I think the hits are like RBIs or something like team dependent is pretty smart because obviously he doesn't have Soto as protection now. That lineup realistically is not good without him. So like I don't know why
his hits are gone.
His hits not on the board. GG hits.
His hits are gone now. You've got to be kidding me. Okay.
Beach.
Well, I mean, either way, we're taking the under home runs. Another square that, I mean, I have to put it in here. It's a guy I believe in. It's a homer pick. It's minus 140 on the books. If you're into CLV, if you're into that type of thing, minus 140 on the books. James Wood. W. Goods.
Of course.
James Wood, more than nukes. He hit one in his first game back. He's been kind of nursing this injury. They haven't been playing him too much in spring, but yesterday, Jovan, first at bat, I believe. First game where he was actually playing the field in the spring, he hits a nuke. Opposite fields on a 99 or 98 mile an hour low and outside fastball that he just takes the other way, pokes it like it's nothing. Reminds me a lot about a young fella, a young lefty who grew up on the Nats and ended up becoming a big star who could just crush the ball the other way. And that's Juan Soto. I get the same vibe from Mr. James Woods. And they both had very, very similar, early on careers, I guess you could say, where when they first got called up, they struggled with power, right? They weren't elevating the baseball. Juan Soto struggled with that too when he got called up. He could not elevate the ball as much. He was not pulling the ball as much, and that's okay. But in year two, it was night and day, and you could tell he had more confidence up there at the plate. And I think it's going to be very similar to how James Wood's season plays out, where 20 home runs is going to look like a bad number. It should be at like 29 and a half, not 19 and a half, right?
Yeah.
As long as he stays healthy, I feel great about the square.
Yeah, I can get with that.
Now we got Big Cheesy in here rooting for injuries.
That's crazy. Can't
Cheesy, come on. Krabs, too many buy squares in the goat whale first couple squares. Well, yeah, let me get to the other ones, okay? Here's another one I have a little asterisk next to. Emmanuel Clase. Can we talk about Emmanuel Clase? Because I'm still trying to talk myself into it, because this is probably the nastiest square I will ever take. If I do take this, let's not forget, guys, Emmanuel Clase had a sub-1 ERA last year. Sub-1. Maybe the greatest season from a relief pitcher since Mariano Rivera, right?
Not in the playoffs, though.
Not in the playoffs. And I am certainly expecting a fat, happy, and complacent season from Emmanuel Clase, who we know when the lights are bright, when he's got some eyeballs on him. That's when Emmanuel Clase starts to lose a little bit, right? He loses some of that command. He starts to get a little wild. He's walking people. He's got wild pitches. He's not sprinting to covering home plate. I've never seen that guy move faster than a walking pace in my entire life. He doesn't seem like the kind of guy that's, really digging his heels in this offseason after a career year saying, let me go ahead and beat that, right? Kind of seems like the kind of guy that maybe we could fade here. Gives me Daniel Bard vibes a little bit, Jovan. And after he had 1 million saves last year, after he had a sub-1 ERA, no way we have a Matt Warner nuke.
There's no way.
Hold on. There's actually no fucking shot.
3-run bomb.
He legit just went yard. There's
actually no fucking shot.
There's no way we're doing
that. Off Garrett Cole, too.
It was legit off of Garrett Cole. The last pitch he threw in the game. You gotta be kidding me.
Jovan, you asked me about him in his other only appearance in the spring so far, and I said no. And he struck out on 3 pitches and didn't do shit that game. And then you bring him up again today. And I say, you know what? Maybe it's today against Garrett Cole. And what does he do the first fucking time we say his name? Like Voldemort. He hits a nuke right in front of our faces.
I don't.
Are you
I just
kidding
don't
me?
understand it. This is like legit. It's incredible. I've never seen anything like it.
It's not even the regular season yet. He only gets 1 or 2 at-bats. These aren't even real games. And he's still hitting nukes every time we take him. How does this happen? How?
It's unbelievable, man.
How? Can we get Matt Warner squares up on the season longs?
We might need them.
Holy smokes, dudes. Yeah,
Wow,
I need a thank you cards. I deserve some sort of DM or at least some sort of cap tip from Matt Warner.
Unicorn homer in Tampa, too. Unbelievable.
It's getting weird. Like, I know it's cool and fun and crazy and we're smiling, but it's getting weird at this point. It's getting weird. Every time we say the guy's name, he hits a nuke. Every single time. What the fuck?
Don't get it.
I don't get it either, man. All right. Emmanuel Clase. Let's circle back here. Emmanuel Clase. And I wanted to pull up his stats and see how many saves he actually had last year. Oh, yeah, 47.
Yeah.
47 saves. The year before, 42. The year before
3
that.
straight years in 40s.
Yeah. 47, 44, 42. Right?
Had the
3 unbelievable seasons.
Second lowest ERA ever in a season with 70 innings pitched.
Yep. Who had the most? Mariano Rivera, probably? One day?
I don't know. I was just looking. I don't have like the list. That's just a stat that I saw or see on tweet.
Brian C., doesn't Soroka look good? He does. He does. And I think that's a Braves fan, Brian C. I think Soroka was on the Braves. So if that's coming from him,
Yeah.
that makes me feel pretty good. Correct me if I'm wrong. Jovan, 35.5 saves for Class A. Like, did they leave 10 saves at the door here? Like, should this not be at 45.5? I'll tell you why this is going less than. And I'm not rooting for an injury. I'm not banking on an injury. The reason why this is going to go less than is because the Guardians are going to be dog shit this year. I'm out on the Guardians this season.
I don't know about dog shit, but I'm with you. I think they're going to take a step back.
They're taking a step back. I like the Twins. I like the Tigers. I'm not a big guards guy this year, and the win total would agree with me.
Yeah.
I think we have a good chance here to fade a goat. Take us less than saves. That number is insanely low, Jovan. 35.5. Are you kidding me, dudes? What do you think?
Pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's
I can
crazy.
certainly get down with that. I don't know if it's not going to be Daniel Bard level. I'll tell you that much, but I'm certainly down.
No square will ever be that level, by the way.
No.
I will say he seems like a guy to hold a little bit of a grudge, and he was terrible in the postseason. Absolutely awful.
Yeah.
He might be lights out to start the season and then might falter.
Well, Goots, what if I told you he's got a 13 ERA in the spring so far?
Wow.
Would that make you feel a little bit better about maybe
that's lower than it was in the playoffs?
Yeah, because when push comes to shove and the lights are turned up a little brighter, Emmanuel Class A's powers go away. They disappear.
I mean, you do have to know too, like pitchers are head cases, but closers especially are head cases.
These guys are freaks. Like, respectfully, I mean this in a good way. I'm jealous. I'm jealous of these guys. I wish I could be them. I wish I could be as weird and crazy as these dudes, and then maybe I'd have a fucking chance to make it to the league, right? But these guys are lunatics, right? These guys are like the kickers in the NFL. These guys are lunatics. Yeah. Even worse. Where, even if one bad game, it can throw off your entire season, right? That's why Mariano Rivera, I can't believe I'm bringing him up again, and he's a Yankee, but the reason why he's so great is because of how well he did it for so long and how consistent he was. It was so impressive. Nobody's ever done that before at that role for over a decade, almost 2 decades. It doesn't happen. It's so hard. It's all mental as well. As soon as this guy has a couple bad games, he's shot, right? And he's already coming off a bad postseason. He's coming off a bad spring so far to start. Maybe he locks in, but I am certainly eyeing that less than saves. And I think it's ridiculously low.
I can certainly get down with that, Krabs.
Another one I had an asterisk next to here, and this one may take a little bit more of a sell. And let me try to get back in my mindset from last night. But a couple guys who I was looking to put in here, 2 Cubs. Pete Crow Armstrong, more than stolen bases. And Kyle Tucker, more than stolen bases. And I'm kind of leaning Kyle Tucker. I've been trying to find a way to get Tucker involved. I know it's probably square, right? New team. It's pretty easy to say, hey, this guy's going to be pissed off this year and playing with a chip on his shoulder. But Kyle Tucker, who, by the way, is minus 135 to get 20 steals this season, 20-plus steals. So this is a minus 135 play, WCLV. Kyle Tucker, not coming off his best season last year, right? Kyle Tucker kind of hurts. The guy still hit and raked when he was in there, but overall, not his best year. Steals-wise as well. Let's stay focused on that. He had 11 steals last year, but he missed, more than half the games. Before that, Jovan, the last couple seasons before it, he had 30 steals sneakily, 25 before that as well. He can low-key run. He's sneaky pretty quick. If I asked you, the normal person on the street, a baseball fan, how many steals does Kyle Tucker get a season, you certainly wouldn't be saying 30 steals. You wouldn't be saying 25 steals, right? You think of him hitting nukes or line drives in the gap. Kyle Tucker is sneakily pretty quick. And I want to back a guy coming off an injured season, right? This is when you can kind of buy low on a guy who was just hurt a lot in a prove-it deal on a new team here. I'm willing to back him to at least stay healthy. And if he can stay healthy, Jovan, the Cubs last year were top 5 in stolen base attempts per game. They were really big into steals. And I saw they made a couple coaching changes this year. They changed the first base and third base coach. No more Napoli, which is good. I can't even imagine Napoli being, graded, timing up steals or being big into steals. That guy's never gotten a steal his entire life. They also fired their third base coach, Jovan, too. They brought in the Brewers' former base coach, and the Brewers had the second most steals in baseball last season. So if anything, the Cubs are only going to be running more, and Kyle Tucker is going to be trying to prove to the world that he's not an old man. He's still in his prime, and the Astros shouldn't have let him go. And he's going to be running wild like he did, besides last season, the 2 years before that. I am in love with Kyle Tucker more than 19.5 steals. I think this one is going to be kind of easy.
Love that. Love that from you, Krabs. I don't know if I can get with PCA because the whole world's on PCA, but Kyle Tucker, I could be in on, especially because like his injury last year, it's not just that he was hurt, but it was a shin injury for a majority of the season. So it was one that definitely detracted from him quite literally running. So could be a great year to bounce back from that.
Maybe sell job of the year.
I think, yeah. I was going to say that was your best sell job. Best, I think that's the square I think I'm in on the most just because of how you sold it.
Yeah, and I kind of agree. Even like gut check, I feel really good about that Tucker square.
Yeah.
I do. I got an asterisk next to that one. I got another nasty one I want to run by you guys here. We got a couple more minutes, then we'll get to the squad ride. Who's a player who is a guy people are going to think is him again this year, who had a great, not breakout season, but great year last year, rejuvenated in his career, carried the offense when people didn't expect it, on a good team as well, and hit a ton of home runs. My goodness. Who's a guy, I'll give you a hint, he's on the Braves. Who's a guy who people might think is running it back after a career year, who we could potentially fade?
Your guy Profar, I see him up there.
Oh, well, no, I wasn't going to say Profar. I was going to say Marcell Ozuna.
Oh, Ozuna from the Braves.
Marcell Ozuna had an unbelievable season last year, right? He was, home run guy, carrying that offense, honestly, he was one of the best hitters in baseball. And I know he's a huge POS, not a great guy, getting DUIs, whatever. We'll leave that at the door. But career year, great year on the Diamonds. Jovan, I was looking at some of his squares and, checking on the book, see what prices these are at. I was shocked to see some squares up for him. His half a triple square, I kind of wanted to fade after a couple years with some triples in a row, but mainly his under hits. He's got a 149.5 hit square up there on Prize Picks. It looks pretty good after last season. And I'll look up how many hits he had, but it was a fuck ton. The guy hit 302 last year. Nobody gives a hoot. Nobody's talking about it. He was a hit machine. He had 183 hits. Jesus. And he's up there for 149 this season. And the under is minus 115 on the books. Why not fade Marcell Ozuna after a career season? Talk about a guy who could be fat, happy, complacent. He's already 1/3 of the way there.
Yeah. That's I guess him and Profar are the only guys from the Braves I don't really care for this year, so I could still be in on that with you.
Yeah, lads can't fade him. I kind of want to fade him. I do. Brian C can't fade him, yeah, because he's a fan. Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't fade his home runs or RBIs, but hits could be sharp. That's kind of what I was thinking, Brian. Maybe he goes up there taking war hacks, thinking he's him like last year, trying to hit nukes again. And we see him kind of lack on the hits, and we see that batting average drop after he hit over 300 last year. That's crazy. Marcell Ozuna hitting over 300 in the big 2-4. That's nuts. Right? All right. Do we have time for one more, or do you want to move on to the squad rides?
You might have DJ Fitz one more.
Okay. Any on here, Goots, that you wanted me to bring up that I haven't yet? Joe Ryan.
Ooh.
Okay. Joe Ryan has I would love to get involved in this win category. And you guys are probably all thinking, oh, you're going to take a less than. There was actually a more than that stuck out to me on a team that I kind of wanted to buy stock in this year. And that's Joe Ryan, and that's the Twins. Joe Ryan, he had an up and down season last year, but, when he was locked in, he was almost unhittable. And I'm banking on a really good, consistent season here from Joe Ryan, who's still trying to prove that he's one of the better young arms in the game. I like Joe Ryan more than wins, which, by the way, 9.5. So for him to get double-digit wins, minus 125 on the books. I was thinking about maybe locking him in and root for him this season. We know the bullpen is solid, right? Good enough. What do we think about Joe Ryan getting 10 wins, double-digit wins? The one thing I don't like about it, kind of a square more than, I guess. You're back in a more than wins, and this is a new category. We just haven't seen how this really plays out yet. So that kind of scares me.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a Joe Ryan guy. I think he's going to bounce back. And when he's up and down, but when he's on, he's one of the best pitchers, I think, in the entire AL. So I like the Twins. I'm kind of with you in that division, and I guess this kind of would go in line potentially with some of the other teams regressing, which would be huge. So I could be in on that.
He only had 7 wins last year. The 2 years before that, though, when he was healthier, more consistent, although you couldn't even say 2023, he pitched more games, but he had a 4.5 ERA. He was all over the place 2 years ago. Last year, he low-key closed with a 3.6 ERA. He actually finished the season pretty well. I know he missed a couple games. He was hurt. Love backing guys in these season angles after a year when they're injured because I'm banking on them being healthy after we just saw them get hurt, right? It's just common fucking sense. And that's something that makes a lot of sense to my brain when I'm locking in these season lineups. Joe Ryan could be an interesting look, and I liked him because he's coming off of only a 7-win season. Like the Twins stock up this year. They got him and Ober up there for a bazillion squares. I don't know if you prefer Bailey Ober, but
Crab, do you remember what one of those wins was from those 7 last year?
Was one against the Nats or some shit?
We were there. You were trying to catch a home run.
Okay.
With 2 gloves.
Was that the 2-glove game?
That was 2-glove game.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Do me a favor and go ahead and keep that clip in the files.
Oh, it's handy.
Don't need to pull that clip up. Don't need to keep that clip. All right. Looks like SIU closed the first half pretty well. They're up 4 at halftime.
Yeah.
Okay. Nothing to write home about, but we take that. All right. Why don't we move and groove? We only got about 4 minutes left, Jovan. You ready to craft up a squad, Ryan?
Sure.
Let's run it, Goodsy. I want to see that damn train. All right, chat. Look, I know last night's squad ride was quail shit, but we're going to bounce back today. Let's not forget we had 2 wins before that. All right. If we cash the squad ride tonight, we're 3-1 this month in March. Couldn't ask for much more. Okay. So let's lock the fuck in. We don't need to overthink this puppy, but let's not underthink it. Okay. We need to think the right amount about this puppy and lock in some winners. Okay.
Right.
Jovan, you got a couple nasty totals up here. You got a money line parlay. Love Texas State. I think the Lightning win. I'm a little bit worried about putting a parlay in just because I think the gambling gods will probably fuck us.
Yeah. We know the rules, man. Can't
do you like which total do you prefer?
Something about NC Central, South Carolina State just staring me in the face.
Okay. Points.
Staring me in the face.
Points. Let me check the total. See where it's at. 153.5. Whoa.
NCCU, SCSD, NCCU, and then SCST.
Over 153.5. And Goods, if you just want to copy it from the bottom there on the outline, feel free.
Goose.
That total is moving and grooving, Jovan. Yep.
Moving.
Yep. We got that. We could probably leave the mount out after hearing the Terrell R news, respectfully. I know they're probably going to go out there and win one for him, as they should, and show immense amounts of heart, right? But you could probably let that be a side splooger after finding that out, post beginning the show.
Yeah.
Okay. That leaves us with UMKC and Queens. What do you think about putting those 2 puppies in there?
It's fine by me, Krabs.
UMKC plus 3.5.
Yep.
Let's see where Queens is at. Plus 9.5. Is there anything else we talked about today that you fell in love with?
I don't know that we've talked about. I feel like we're maybe doing a little disservice to our man, Dead Larry Bird, because I'm sure he's on them. But UC Davis, have you seen that game today, Krabs?
Yeah, I've seen it. Do you want to grab the points and fade the fucking Anteaters again?
I was just more so asking for your thoughts on it. I'm going to have to be on them. It's just going to have to be done.
Yeah. I certainly like the plus 6.5. I'm just kind of over fading Irvine, the Anteaters. I think they might just be team of destiny at this point.
No, they are. They are for sure. I don't think they're UC San Diego team of destiny, but
yeah,
I haven't gotten hurt by them too much. I'm going to have to do it.
No, you're not wrong. One of those 2 squads, whoever gets in, I think is going to win a game in the tournament in March, by the way. I want that for a clip. What about the over in San Diego Pacific?
I mean, that starts in now, doesn't it?
Yep. 2.5
I don't know.
hours.
Not that
3.5
early.
hours.
Not that early. Yeah. I thought it was switching time slots with Illinois State. I mean, if you like it that much, Krabs, I'm always down.
I do like that play. Scrolling through the board, making sure we got all of our bases covered here. Why don't we put that in here if chat wants to get that involved after hearing us talk about it for like an hour? It seemed like we'll put it in here and make it a 4-piece. Okay. USD and Pacific over 146.5. Chat, let's go 4 plays, 4 winners, and you got 2 minutes to lock in your vote. Hurry up, go, 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 go. Lock the fuck in. 4 plays, 4 winners to choose from on Thursday's slate. Stick around. We got Trent and the Surge stream starting up right after this. Do me a favor, guys. Lock in. Give Trent the sell job of your lifetime today. Give him a play that you sell so well he cannot refuse. He's got to put that puppy in the Fugazi, or he's got to put that puppy in the Prize Picks lineup, whatever it is. Give him a good sell job today. Show some heart. All right, get involved. And get involved in the Squad Rad poll as well, chat. 4 plays, 4 winners. We got the over in NC Central and South Carolina State. We've got UMKC plus 3.5 against the 1-seeded Omaha squads. Probably my favorite play. We got Queens plus 9.5. Our beloved Queens against the best team in their conference today, getting within 10 points. And then USD and Pacific over 146.5. They played twice this year. Both games have gone under, and this third matchup has the highest total. All right? 3 plays, 3 winners. Lock the fuck in. 4 plays, 4 winners. Lock the fuck in. All right? One day I'm going to try to do a sell job on Surge. Flatwoods, bro. Today could be the day. Today could be the day. What are we waiting for out here, man? I promise it's not that bad once you get up there. It'll fly by. All right, you're going to wish you had more time up there. You're going to wish you were DJ Fitz and had 10 plays. Okay?
Flat
Get
one,
involved.
before I started working for Bookit, I came on Surge, gave 3 plays, 0-3. Now I'm here. So
No shot, Goods.
yeah.
Goods, man. What were those plays?
It was like a stars over, and it was moose shit. St. Louis against some team. I forget the third one, but yeah. no
Push
shit.
ruse,
Unbelievable.
push ruse, push ruse. Who's it going to be? UMKC or Queens? Yeah, it's going to be Queens.
Queens.
It was always Queens. Queens
I'm
plus 9.5.
surprised.
It's been a while.
Wow.
It's been a while since we backed the Royals. Okay. Let's hope they stay hot against Lipscomb tonight.
Yeah.
W Queens. All right,
Yeah.
chat. WBTL today. We appreciate you guys. W Stream, W Subbies. Stick around. I'm not going to take any more of your time here. Apologies, Trent, for running over a little bit late. I'll catch you in a minute on the stream. Chat, stick around and pitch Trent some winners. All right, will ya? We'll catch you tomorrow, same time, same place.